Hello everyone, Overquake here playing Farming Simulator 2013. Where we left off, we're in the middle of a corn harvest and we've got, we're about ready to re-sow everything, and we're in the middle of a field auction as well. I think I want this field to be barley. So let's go ahead and hire a worker to fertilize it for me. And we'll have that going while we're doing some other things. The last episode was the State of West Bridge Hills speech, so kind of going over what we're doing and where we left off, what our plans are. We are trying to save up some money for one of those big wind turbines that are going to be awesome. So that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna finish up the last of this little corn harvest. That should bring in some nice money, and I mean, it's not gonna give us enough money to buy the wind turbine right this season, but I don't know, maybe next harvest, we'll see. I think we are still in the middle of a great demand. We're in the middle of a great demand here for corn, which is really handy because we had every field sewn up that way, so we're going to be finishing up the corn, our last great demand haul. We can go ahead and get rid of that for now. Let's see, nothing big to really discuss in the game, but so there were a couple things I've been thinking about recently. I've been thinking about having a set schedule. So I wonder if it would be helpful for both those of you that do watch my Farming Simulator videos, and maybe also helpful for getting more people to watch the videos, if I had a schedule. So something I've been thinking about was having specific days that I'm going to release, a certain game. So, if Tuesdays and Thursdays were Farming Simulator, and I don't know, Saturdays were Professional Farmer 2014, I don't know, is a schedule like that beneficial? Do people like that? Personally, I never pay attention. I don't know, when there's someone that I subscribe to, and there's someone I like their videos on a particular game, whenever I see that it comes out, then I'll watch it. I don't know if there's any benefit for knowing, oh, okay, I know it's Thursday, so I can go and watch so-and-so's new video. But on the other hand, I do know that my wife is like that. She does like a few YouTubers that she knows, oh, they put out a new video every Wednesday or whatever. She knows to go and look at them that day, or the next day she'll know that it'll be there waiting for her. I don't know. We might have to... I'm thinking about harvesting this by hand, because this field was all messed up. It had kind of an error where half of the field finished its growth before the rest of it did, and so it had this weird jagged line. I don't know. Oh, but that side looks okay. I might be able to get away with it. So now we've got to go back and clean up these little patches. I tried to have it automatically harvested by hiring a worker, but it didn't seem to work for these sections. We're just going to take care of it ourselves. It's fine. It's not a big deal. see if we can get the rotation right. Go, 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 rotate. Alright. Pretty decent turning radius on this thing. Yeah, not bad at all. Oh yeah. This is not a problem at all. Oh, what else has been going on? Also, we've got, I'm having some problems with my hot tub outside. I think it's my fault, though. So, I've got an old, like, mid-90s hot tub that my wife and I bought last May, I think it was. And it was, you know, it was used. It was one of those off Craigslist kind of things. And picked it up. It had this just, I hate to even call it a leak, just this little kind of dribble. It was like leaking water out of the like control panel where all the pumps and I don't know, circuit breakers and control board things are all situated in. And so that was a little bit. Then the heater went out this winter. I am not one of those like mechanically inclined people, but I figured it out myself anyway. I figured out I ordered a new heater and installed it and got all the tubes back in place, and I don't know. I thought it was a big ordeal. I'm sure someone more mechanical it wouldn't have taken them all day to do it, but I was able to get it. But and then we had a really cold winter. It was mostly like January and February, really cold. And I don't know if it was me or if it was the cold or, I mean, I hate to say it, but it was probably me. I probably messed up one of the fittings or something. Well, now the slight dribble has turned into like a pretty decent leak. And so I've called the pool and spa guys that fix stuff here in town. And of course it's June, so everybody's opening up their pool, everybody's opening their hot tubs, everybody's, I don't know, they're super busy. So this time of year, apparently when you ask for service, you get it like 2 weeks later, they might be able to come out. So basically I'm sort of in line waiting. And that's okay. It's not horrible. It's just one of those, like, I just have to keep putting water in there. So every other day I've got to fill it back up the 2 inches or whatever that it's dribbled out onto my patio, but that's fun. Home ownership, right? Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of that, like, really cold winter, I also had one of those outside spigot or outside faucet, whatever you want to call it. I had one of those freeze, and I don't want to say burst because that sort of implies like water going everywhere. It's just like it doesn't work anymore. And by it doesn't work anymore, I sort of mean if I turn it on, it starts spilling water into my garage instead of outside. It's kind of interesting. So it's kind of backwards right now. When you twist the little knob, it just lets water go inside my house instead of outside my house. Which sounds really funny unless it's your house, I guess. Oh, whatever. For a moment I was a little afraid because I was thinking, oh, we've got to keep an eye on the time because we're in the middle of a field auction right now. And then I remembered that we're running real time And so when you're running real time, it's not something I have to worry about at all. I mean, that means we still have an hour and 40 minutes left until the actual field auction completes. What I'm probably going to do is once I've got, I think this is the last harvestable field. Once I've got this all done, I'm probably going to go ahead and sell it all. Then we can start speeding up time. It should work out fine. I don't like to have any hired workers going when I speed up time. Also, that's getting harder and harder. So the bigger our farming empire gets, the more action we've got going. So when we only had 1 or 2 fields, you know, we would go ahead and we would plant both fields, and then we'd just sort of fast forward time until they were ready to harvest again. Then we got some cows and sheep and stuff, and we realized that, hey, once we finish a harvest, we have to go mow some grass, we have to mix some silage, I don't know, stuff like that. But that still left some free time at the end of every kind of cycle to where, I don't know, we would harvest and then plant some fields, and then we'd take care of the cows and sheep, and then we'd still have time left over, and we'd still fast forward. I'm thinking that that's going to happen less and less. So the more fields we have, the more real estate we've got to manage. I'm wondering if there will be a point where actually we have 0 free time. So by, like, what if we went like in a circle around the map harvesting, and by the time we got back around again, that field might be ready to harvest again. I don't know. That's kind of an interesting thought. Although I guess at that kind of point you start to upgrade your harvesters, and you start to have multiple harvesters on each thing. I mean, right now we still only have 1 combine, right? And we just recently gave it the ability to handle corn. So, yeah, we're full again. Switch cameras. Keep loading this guy up. There it goes. So that's something I thought of too. That's kind of interesting. Kind of an interesting idea that what if you were so busy that you just never stop farming? You keep everything in real time all the time because you're just always busy. It's kind of neat. On the other hand, there's all those different kinds of harvesters too. That's something to think about, is that there's, you know, you might not have 4 of these harvesters. You might have some sugar beet harvesters and some potato harvesters, and you know, I think there's something that's just designed to turn corn into chaff. Like, that's the whole point. I guess it's a biogas thing, but I don't know why I'm worried about problems that we haven't encountered yet. I mean, and that will be a good problem to have, right? That'll mean our empire is growing according to plan. That's the way I see it anyway. So going back to a schedule, I don't think I'm going to commit to that right this second, but I'm not going to commit to specific days while I'm recording just right this second, but that's something I'm definitely thinking about. I would like to have a schedule. because maybe it's confusing for people. So even if you record and upload 2 videos every week on a particular game, well, that's okay. But if they're kind of random on what days they come out, how can people know that they're even there? Yeah. Something to consider. Also, there's one game on my channel that I just sort of stopped playing. And that's probably bad. I was thinking about that. It's probably not that bad. It's probably not that bad because not a lot of people were watching it anyway. Almost nobody was watching it anyway. So, I don't know if I'm that really worried about it. On the other hand, I shouldn't have been lazy about it. What I should have done was I should have recorded like one last episode of it saying, hey, this is a fun game, but nobody seems to watch it or want to see me play it, so I'm not going to record it anymore. I don't know. It does seem rude, like, you know, even if there were just 4 people that were really liked it, it's rude to those 4 people. Or 10 people, or whatever it was. It doesn't really matter. The point is that I am a very small channel, and I don't want to make anybody upset. So the numbers shouldn't really matter as much to me. Oh, I missed one little piece of corn there. Here's something completely ungaming related. So, I've had the most interesting project come up today. Not today, this week. And it's one of those, no, I'm not getting paid for it or anything, but it's one of those time sinks that I'm really enjoying. So, here's what happened. My wife's friends all decided that what they wanted to do was they wanted to have a murder mystery party. And somehow, I think it was because I'm the detail-oriented guy of the group. I'm not sure. Or maybe my wife just volunteered me. I'm not sure how this happened. But somehow I got put in charge of organization, of putting this whole thing together. And so, like I do most projects, I tried to figure out just how over the top I could make this whole thing. Well, I got out Scrivener, which, if you don't know, is a writing software. A lot of the authors that I don't know, follow, read, whatever you want to call it. A lot of the authors that I am aware of use this software. And what's fantastic about it is it's really good at letting you keep track of all the different elements of your story. So it's not just like Word where all you're saying is one page at a time. It's kind of, it lets you see and edit details of each character. You can be seeing a character and a page at the same time. You can edit notes on a setting that's going to be in your story. You can even link to your research or your source material inside of Scrivener. So anyway, I don't know if you guys care about writing stuff, but yeah, that's it. That's all the harvesting we needed. This guy's done. So What button am I pushing wrong? Oh no, I just need to be on. Yeah. I just need to select the actual harvester and fold it up. What was I doing? Oh, murder mystery, right. So, been working on that. I spent, I don't know, 2 evenings, I think it was, just working that all out. Just developing each person's character, developing what they're supposed to do each scene, and it's kind of been really fun. I've been able to kind of have this interesting situation to where my goal is to encourage people to do certain things during each scene, but I don't really want to tell them to do something either. So it's kind of fun to write something in such a way that you can move a plot along without just going straight out and telling the story all yourself, so that they can discover the plot for themselves. I don't know, it's been fun. Little project of mine. So the premise is that everybody will come along to this dinner party, and throughout various points of the evening, I will be giving them they will receive basically little notes saying, hey, during this part of the evening, your objective is to do this. Or you're going to want to make sure that this comes up in conversation. Your character's all worried about this right now. It's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting. Really liking it. What's our crop growth speed right now? Slow. Okay. Alright, we've got... This one guy's gonna mess us up. I'm probably gonna risk it just to... Yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut this guy down here. When he finishes this row, he's gonna shut off, and when he finishes right here, there it is, I'm gonna unhire him. So let's go ahead and back him up to here. We do want to sell this before we go speeding up time. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Because I don't know how long this is left. Okay, so our corn, great demand, still has 13 hours left. But I still would rather just go ahead and, I'd rather go ahead and take care of this right now. And we have nothing in our silos. We have sold it all. We're trying to get money. I'm trying a new strategy with this next harvest as well. I'm trying to plant a bunch of different crops. Possibly even assign each field their own crop. Which realistically doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you're supposed to rotate your crops and rotate your fields and all that. But for the purposes of this game, I was thinking about maybe having a field that all it does is corn. So there are some advantages to that. You could have all your corn-based equipment right there, near that field, and set up, and so you know that's what that field's going to do. But the disadvantage of that is my current strategy was to always be working one crop at a time. And that definitely had its own advantages too, because every time you went to go and do a harvest, you were just gonna pick up everything you needed to harvest corn for all the fields. So you only had to set up your combine once, switch the headers, that kind of stuff. You only had to do that once. How you doing, sheep? You still got food, looks like? Yep. Have a good day, sheep. Once you get a couple more pallets, I'll go ahead and sell all that for you. And I don't remember what crop that is, but I think it's corn. Nope, don't remember. Alright, well that pretty much concludes this harvest. Okay. A couple things we want to get done while we're in between harvests. First thing we want to do is go ahead and pick up that field that's on auction. And I kind of want to know what number field that is. I mean, not what number the game assigns to it, but what number field that is for us. So let's take a look at that. Well, we got a second. All right, so auction is for field number 5 right here, and this will be our 1, 2. That's our first field. I think this was actually our second, wasn't it? Did it go on auction or something? Maybe this one was. Maybe we picked up this one to feed the cows. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be our 6th field. And there's 21 on this. So that'll make us 6 out of 21. Okay. Let's go ahead and dump off whatever you've got in there for the cows. Oh, good. Good. So we definitely don't need to go and get more feed for the cows. Okay. So let's check out our auction. Field number 5. Current bid's 20,000. It would normally be 34.5. It's just a little over 1 hectare. Auction is until 2,200. And Mr. Sir Ron Franklin is currently the highest bidder. Have Sir, I mean, when you were doing the European maps, to have Sir made more sense than trying to do this America map. Wonder if the names are the same in both Hoggenstead and Westbridge Hills. Anyway, auction till 2,200. Okay, 2,200. So we just have to remember that 2,200. What we're going to do is we're going to speed this up. Hey, let's give that a little save while we're here anyway. And then we're just going to sit here for a second until like 2150 or something. So 2150 is what we're aiming for. 2155 maybe? I don't know. We got till 22. So that's 2030. This is fun. Just fast forwarding time. Oh, all the lights turned on. Do they all turn on at 2100? Yeah, that's kind of neat. I guess I haven't spent that much time in town at nighttime. It's kind of neat. 2130, we're getting closer here. 2140, 50. Wrong button. 2153. Okay. Great. Now who's winning? Still Sir Ron. And at 20,000, I think that hasn't changed. I'll leave it 5 more minutes, 4 more minutes, 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes. Let's go down to real time. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to be the last minute bidder. That's our objective. We want to see how cheap we can get this. And it's not expensive anyway. And this was not a field we particularly wanted right now. It's not that convenient for us. It's not the best, but I mean, when you can get something, when you can get a field for, you know, 40% off, I think you just go ahead and do it, right? That's been my strategy so far. Just go ahead and grab all the fields we can when they're on auction. Alright, now's our time. Alright, 21,250. We're the highest bidder. So let's see what happens. We'll have to wait a minute to find out. Although I've never put a last minute bid in and not won it yet. Although, because I don't know if the AI works like that. If, you know, with 30 seconds, so if we put in our bid with 60 seconds to go, if anyone else would come along with only 15 seconds to go or something. I've never seen that happen, but I guess theoretically it might be possible, but I've never seen that happen. So this should be ours. The auction just ended and you acquired field number 5 for 21,250. Okay, it's ours. Excellent. Most excellent. I can't remember what... So we've also got field number 2. That's working on barley, it looks like. Barley. So it'd be convenient if we did both of these guys, since they're both way up here and not really near the majority of our fields. Let's see if these two fields should both be the same. Let's go ahead and do wheat, barley. Oh, skipped it. There we go. Let's go ahead and put both of these as barley. Then when we bring a tipper up here, we won't have to empty it before we switch crops. That might be inconvenient to do. Alright, here we go. Now we had another one going, this guy right here, yep. Let's turn our lights and beacons on. Safety first, you know, it's very important. Especially at nighttime. Very important. Let's get this guy lined up where he was before. Let's get him going. Okay, good. This should do the trick. Okay, so while that's all going, we could probably be mowing, I'm thinking. How full is this guy? Oh, I shut that off. 76%. Plenty of grass in there. Oh, I think I just looked at that last episode too. I should have known that that was how full that was. But I had forgotten. And I think, if I remember right, the silo that we're working on in the biogas is about halfway full. In here. I think this was halfway full. Let's jump on top of this and find out. Oh, nice error. Okay, yep, 51%. So, we've got some grass we can get and fill that up. Alright, looks like we'll do that next time because this is a nice, convenient place to finish. Good. Everybody, thanks for watching. This has been Overquake, playing Farming Simulator 2013. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe or give me a like on this video. Thank you very much, and everybody, have a great day.